Denver and Cincinnati. Jake Browning, Bo Nix, 7.5. Denver's favored by right now.
Yeah, Jake Browning and that offense going up against Denver's defense does not exactly inspire confidence. That feels like a rough outing again. And then Denver, it's like, does Bo Nix play well or not? Because if he does, everything's pretty good. If he doesn't, that's a problem. Some
fun matchups here. Pat Surtain going up against Jamar Chase.
Yep.
And T. Higgins. The one thing that I'm trying to remind myself of a couple of years ago, last week we're like, hey, Jake Browning's played some pretty good football. It wasn't like all his fault last week. The pick sixes and the fumble six. It wasn't all Jake Browning, but the guy's got 5 interceptions already.
It's also against the Vikings defense.
Leading the league, right? But a couple years ago, Jake Browning, I wrote him off because I think his first start, he was awful. Let me go back and just double check. His first start was terrible. And then it was a Monday night game, Sam. It was the Monday. So his first couple outings were not great.
All Jake Browning needs is prime time.
He had a terrible game against Pittsburgh. And it was like, okay, of course, like Cincinnati can't do anything with Jake Browning. This guy hasn't played football in forever. He keeps throwing the ball to the defense. And then he just rolls into Monday Night Football. I probably referenced this last week. Goes 32 of 37 against the Jaguars. And this is when the Jags were fighting for the number 1 seed that year, if you remember, before they collapsed. 32 of 37 for 354. He's Mr. Monday Night.
Right.
He's Rob Van Dam.
All he needs is primetime games.
So Jake Browning on Monday Night Football. I think he's going to play much better.
You see no reason why he will not be amazing, even though he's going up against Denver's defense.
That was when he started to play better last year. After he just got one bad start out of his system.
Yeah.
And then he came back and just decided, I'm going to complete 86% of my passes on 37.
He just needs to knock the rust off.
That's it.
The Denver defense currently leads the NFL in pressures on the quarterback with over 60 of them. They're getting pressure at basically a 50% clip, according to NFL Pro. These are problematic numbers if you're the Bengals offensive line and Jake Browning.
Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back to the action. Yeah. I would be concerned there. Even though we say, hey, Browning gets rid of the ball quicker, that should help. Like, yeah, it should.
Nick Benito going up against those gargantuan mammoth offensive tackles for the Bengals feels like
I don't know what's happened.
Pressure.
We were big Orlando Brown defenders for years, right? He had this terrible workout, but it was actually impressive that he pass protected well in the Ravens system and in the Chiefs system. Yeah. I know Chiefs fans didn't love Orlando Brown either, but I think a lot of that was Mahomes drops to 10 and 11 yards, and it looks bad, but it's not always on the tackle.
I mean, he was never elite, but he was pretty solid.
But he was a good, solid left. He has not been nearly as good with Cincinnati these last couple of years. Theoretically, with easier quarterbacks to pass protect for.
I don't know.
It's from a depth of drop perspective.
Yeah, but
with Burrow.
I would say
because rushers against Lamar and Mahomes have to be a little bit more tentative.
Yes.
So maybe that's
exactly
what
so
helped
Lamar
him.
in particular, I think that's not necessarily true because of how Lamar changes the rushes. Mahomes as well, and he's very good at understanding. Like he doesn't drop. He's not unaware when he's dropping to 11 yards, right? Like some quarterbacks drop to 11 yards.
Oh, no, he's doing it by design.
They haven't understood that they've dropped to 11 and you're screwing up the entire system. Mahomes drops to 11 and is very acutely aware that like he's doing that and undermining the leverage of his offensive tackle, and therefore it's on him at this point, right? And he understands how to get rid of it or move around so that's not a problem. Burrow, I think, is slightly different where he stresses an offensive line more than those other guys and is then just kind of trying to make plays in that pressure. Like it's not, there's no other side of it that's helping the tackle at the same time. Whereas I think the other two actually do with that.
Yeah. So on one hand, you have Mr. Monday Night, Jake Browning. On the other hand, but you also have the Bengals offensive line and this Denver defense.
I feel like the Bengals offense is going to struggle.
I picked the Bengals because I think they're better than they showed. I also think Bo Nix is better than he's shown. Right. As bad as he's been these first few weeks, like he's played better football than that, and I expect him to at some point. But I'll take the Bengals to keep it within 7.5 here.
Yeah, I also picked the Bengals, but only because the line is so big.
It's a big line.
I think they can keep it within a touchdown.
Harry's taking Denver. No faith in the hometown Bengals.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.
And the all-knowing algorithm is convinced you'll also like these videos, and who are we to argue?